Red alert, red alert, red alert. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce announced their engagement. Welcome to the first bonus episode of the Scarlet Edit. Now, I was sitting at coffee with one of my girlfriends. Interestingly enough, we heard some thunder and we thought, oh my gosh, is it actually thundering around here? Turns out it was just the internet breaking because of this major announcement. So, look, this is a relationship podcast. It's actually funny because when I first started posting reels on this, every single reel I was posting, I was using a Taylor Swift song. And I'm sorry, I think she is one of the absolute greatest songwriters of all time. And actually, I'm going to back up a minute and I'm not even going to say I'm sorry because I am not sorry. I think she is one of the greatest songwriters of our generation, actually of all time. And watching this relationship unfold over the last 2 years has been nothing short of amazing for everybody who is a Taylor Swift fan. So I felt compelled to do a quick bonus episode to talk about how her journey, her relationship history, her songwriting has played such a role in so many of us out there in our own lives, in our own relationship history. She has a way of writing that is so relatable to so many people for so many different reasons. And I think that that is why she is so incredibly popular, because she has a way of putting feelings into words that so many of us can't. But then when we hear her words, they are so relatable. And it's like, yes, finally someone sees me. Finally, somebody understands what it is that I have felt, what it is that I have been going through. And it's such a uniting force. I went to 2 of her Eras Tour shows, and it is like the biggest hug walking into those stadiums. Everybody is excited. Everybody is happy to be there. Everybody is going there to just love. And so many people said over the course of those 2 years while she was on tour that that tour healed them. And I can relate to that in so many ways. It's because hearing her sing these words that she has written about relationships, about life, about love, about heartbreak, they just make you feel, and she gives you hope. She gives you hope. On the Tortured Poets Department album, she wrote a song called The Prophecy. One of the lyrics, it says, "Please, I've been on my knees. Change the prophecy. Don't want money, just someone who wants my company. Let it once be me. Who do I have to speak to about if they can redo the prophecy?" And that phrase right there is so relatable. And it's unfortunately so relatable to so many people, to so many women, because we've experienced heartbreak. I mean, we all have. We've all experienced heartbreak, and we've experienced feeling like we aren't chosen, and we've experienced feeling like we aren't wanted. And it gets tiring and it gets exhausting. And we start questioning ourselves. We start questioning our choices. We start questioning the path that we're on. And is there somebody out there for us? And I think that this journey for her of all of the different relationships that she's been in, all of the different relationships she's written songs about, led her to this time and this moment where she met Travis, and he loved her so differently than anyone else had. If you really are a true Swiftie and have paid attention to her relationship journeys throughout the last 20 years when she's been a part of our lives, most of her relationships haven't been that out loud. In particular, her longest relationship with Joe Alwyn, it was very private. It was very much behind closed doors. You would maybe get a glimpse of them here or there, but it was very much just private. And then along comes Travis, and he's just this big football player, and he wants to date her and meet her and get to know her. And he has been a huge supporter of hers, and he's loved her out loud, and he's thought she was awesome, and he wants her to have the spotlight, and he wants everybody to see how amazing she is. And it was been so different. And as a fan, just with this parasocial relationship and watching her fall in love with him and watching her be excited about him and watching him show up to her shows and watching her change lyrics to her songs because of him, it's been the most exciting thing as a Taylor Swift fan. So I think, how does this tie into the Scarlet Edit? It ties in because everybody has made choices that perhaps they may not make again if they had the opportunity to do it over, and whether that's with relationships or not. But this podcast is about relationships, and it's about believing that you do deserve the love and the life that you have always wanted, regardless of past choices. My whole mantra has always been, when you know better, you have to do better. And I have said in the first few episodes when I was sharing my story of being the other woman, that doesn't mean that I have shame for myself. That doesn't mean that I have regrets. That doesn't mean that I don't believe that I deserve the life and the love that I want for myself and that it's out there. And so watching this unfold has been one of the most beautiful things. And I'm just so happy for her. I'm so happy that she met this guy who comes from a completely different world. If you didn't watch the New Heights podcast or listen to the New Heights podcast that she was on with Travis and his brother Jason, you should. It was really cool as they talked about their relationship and how it started and how it evolved. And one of the things that I thought was especially cool was she talked about how she knew nothing about football when they first got together. Obviously, she had watched football and she was a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles since that's where she grew up. But she didn't even know that both quarterbacks were not on the field at the same time. She didn't know what the difference between offense and defense was. And for Travis, he thought that was so cool. He was like, "Oh my God, this is awesome. Like, you don't know this, and I get to explain it to you." And what that made me think about is that so many times as women, when we're dating somebody, it's like we want them to like us and we want them to want to be with us. And I know men feel the same way. But sometimes, and I know I am guilty of this, and it makes me cringe thinking of things that I have done in the past. How in the past I have met someone and I've really liked them. So it's like I've wanted to be a part of their world and prove that I was smart enough or that I could figure out the same types of things that they could figure out. And that I wanted to be really, really interested in it. And yes, did she go in and now she's like understands football really well and she's a total fan and now she gets different positions and she was excited about the draft. But at first she had no idea and she was totally okay that she had no idea. And he was totally okay that she had no idea. And I think that is so cool because I think sometimes we think like, oh my gosh, is he going to think I'm stupid because I don't know about this topic or about this career path or whatever. And it's like, no, like, he wanted to be the man. He wanted to share. He wanted to educate her on his life, his love, his passion. And so it really got me thinking about how it's totally okay that we can meet somebody who has a completely different life journey than us. And for us to go into that relationship saying, I have absolutely no idea what it is that you do. And I wouldn't even know where to start. So I think that is truly amazing. There's definitely a lot of speculation on when did they get engaged? How long have they been engaged? I even saw a reel already where somebody was talking about how her nails and her watch were the same in the New Heights podcast as they are in the photos that they just posted. I mean, that's amazing detective work. I'm sure there's going to be so much more that comes out. I'm now even more excited for her upcoming album, The Life of a Showgirl. It'll be so interesting to see what the songs are like, how many of them we can directly tie to say, oh, that was written after she got into her relationship with Travis. But I mean, all that to say, I am so excited for her. I don't think I have been this excited for somebody that I don't know in quite some time. So I'm just going to wrap it up there. And thanks for listening to the first bonus episode of Red Alert, brought to you by the Scarlet Edit. If you don't follow me on Instagram, this is a perfect time for me to plug that. It's at thescarlet.edit. Please do. I do a lot of polls over there. I do a lot of commentary on different things, share different things, and we're just getting started. So exciting news, exciting to, share this first bonus episode. And if you haven't already, please rate the podcast. I love a 5-star rating if you feel so compelled. And we'll, talk to you on Thursday for our normal episode drop. So thank you so much. Bye.